Medicare can be massively confusing. So if you're feeling that way, please let me reassure you, you're certainly not alone. There's a lot of people out there that are very confused, overwhelmed, and frustrated around Medicare, which is what I want to talk about here in this video. And I also do have this article right here, which I will pop up on the screen in just a second, so you can see and read for yourself exactly what they're talking about right here. And I will point some of the details out within this article as well, because there's a lot of people that just say, what is Medicare Part A? What is Medicare Part B? What is Medicare Part C? What is Medicare Part D? What is a Medigap plan or supplement plan? What's the difference with Medicare Advantage? All of these different aspects can be very, very confusing. Anyway, I want to talk through some of the details for you here in this video, as well as 4 major Medicare and Medicare Advantage comparisons and considerations right now in 2026, because here we are, still very early on in the year. And again, I've seen a number of comments down below just so far this year. We're not even that far into the year so far, where a number of people in this community have reached out saying, I can't see my doctor anymore. My prescriptions cost a whole lot more. My prescriptions aren't covered anymore. My office, my clinic, my hospital system isn't in network anymore. What can I do? Okay, well, I'm going to throw something out super, super fast, which you probably already noticed. There's the phone number right here. This is for Chapter Medicare. If you have any questions on Medicare, if you need help finding the right Medicare coverages, whatever it happens to be, when in doubt on Medicare, call Chapter right there. Connect with a trusted advisor. They will help you 100% of the way through anything you need with Medicare, and they will do their very best to help you. And again, they'll spend all the time that you need on the phone, answering your questions, addressing your concerns, whatever it happens to be. Thousands of you in this community have already called them, collectively saving a couple $1 million, which is absolutely amazing. Anyway, call them. They will absolutely be right there for you, by your side, your alibi, and they will help you, which I know you've heard me talk about before, but seriously, it's so confusing. It's way more intricate and confusing than it really needs to be. All right, anyway, let's pop this up right here. Here's the article. Feel free to read through the details. I'm just going to point out some of the key details within this that I just want to share with you, because here's the deal. When it comes down to all these different aspects on Medicare that I mentioned just a minute or so ago, it's like, where do I even start? Well, first off, first thing you could do to start is honestly just call Chapter, let them figure it out, and just talk through the details with them, and they will help you. Again, they will be right there by your side to help you through this entire process. Anyway, here's a couple things that you need to think about / consider right now in 2026. And honestly, this is every single year you need to consider all these different things, but since we're here in 2026, let's just say that it's 2026. But number 1 is cost, right? So obviously your deductibles, co-pays, premiums, and all of the other expenditures that may go into whatever coverages that you decide, whether it happens to be original Medicare or maybe it's Medicare Advantage. Again, whatever you decide. And again, totally depends on your situation. And again, also obviously Chapter can help you out with that to figure out what is the best avenue for you. But that is a big one, is right there. Is just, what are your costs going into this as well, okay? Now next, another big one is as well is systems and your availability to your doctors, your hospital systems, your clinics, your offices, whatever it happens to be, right? Now here's what's interesting about this, and what a lot of people may not recognize about original Medicare versus Medicare Advantage, okay? Now Medicare Advantage is it's a Medicare-approved private plan offered by a private insurer, okay? So here's the difference with it, is that original Medicare, you can basically go anywhere in the country, and any doctor that accepts Medicare could see you. You could go to any doctor anywhere in the country and have that full flexibility to see that doctor anywhere in the country. Doesn't matter, provided they accept Medicare, okay? That's original Medicare. However, Medicare Advantage is not so much the same way, right? Medicare Advantage has different networks in your local area or in your region. So if you go to a doctor out of network and you're on Medicare Advantage, well, you may be stuck with a big bill there. Now, obviously, I don't know your exact situation. I'm just using very general terms here. And that's something you certainly want to take into consideration. And again, it's going to be based on your personal situation, whether you're doing any traveling or whatever the situation is. And again, obviously, chapter can help you out with all that. Whatever your personal situation is, they will talk you through that. Of course, they'll ask you a whole bunch of questions to better understand exactly what you need, okay? Now, another one they want to talk about as well is different perks. I'm just going to say perks. They call it different names, but let's just say perks that may go along with any type of Medicare plan. Now, obviously, this is not everybody at all that gets these types of things. And again, it's going to be different for everybody across the board, but some plans offer different incentives to be enrolled in them, and a lot don't, okay? Now, generally, traditional original Medicare typically doesn't offer this, right? Traditional or original Medicare, Part A, Part B, and optional Part D, okay? That's that, and a lot of times accompanied by a Medigap or a supplement plan, things like that. And then obviously Medicare Advantage is where you may see some of that. And again, it's totally dependent on the plan, whatever it happens to be. These are just general terms here. Obviously, I don't know your exact situation or, whatever it is with your specific needs and stuff like that. But that's also something else that may want to be taken into consideration as well, as far as just what is available and what, is available out there. Now, timing as well is another really big one, okay? What are the different time frames in which you have availability to change your plan or explore other options or whatever? Now, here's the thing. It's going to be different for everybody for the most part, okay? Now, obviously, at the end of the year, and again, I talked about this a ton at the end of the year between October 15th and December 7th. Obviously, that's not where we're at right now as I film this video. We're still early on in 2026. But last year, during that time frame, annual enrollment, last year, I was talking about it a ton, saying, get ready, get ready. Tons of these plans are changing. We're going to see some major impacts in early 2026. Well, obviously, here we are right now, but that is the most common time at the end of the year annual enrollment, where basically the floodgates open up for everybody to change their plans, okay? But otherwise, there are a few other windows throughout the year. There's the initial enrollment. That's when people are turning 65 and doing their initial enrollment into Medicare, otherwise known as IEP, initial enrollment period. Otherwise, there's a special enrollment period. That's not for everybody, by the way. I want to make that very, very clear. Special enrollment period, SEP, is certainly not for everybody, but it does open up in some certain instances. For example, if you move across state lines, sometimes even county lines, if you're moving across the country, generally you would have a special enrollment period opened up for you. Or maybe if you lose coverages for some weird reason, or you get dropped from a plan, something like that. Again, those are just some examples. Generally, you would have a special enrollment period that would open up for you, and you could possibly change your plan then. Now, obviously, it's going to be different. I'm just saying in very general terms here. That's what that's all about, okay? But then even right now, early on in the year, some people may still have some flexibility, okay? And again, that's what I say all the time, because I've seen a ton of comments coming in the comment section from people reaching out saying, I can't see my doctor anymore. My prescriptions aren't covered anymore. My prescriptions are massively more expensive. My hospitals aren't in-network anymore. My doctor's office, my clinic, whatever it happens to be, is not in-network anymore, and it's not covered. What do I do? And I've been saying, well, first off, did you call a chapter? See what they can do for you, okay? And again, no promises whatsoever, but that's why I said earlier, is that when in doubt, give them a call and see what options you may have. You may still have some flexibility right now. And again, depending on your specific situation or what you're currently dealing with, you may have the opportunity to do something. Again, we don't know your specific situation, but you may have options, you may have flexibility. It's totally dependent, okay? Now, again, there's about 70 million people. In fact, it's a little less than 70, but there's about 70 million people on Medicare right now, okay? It's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that are experiencing exactly what I was talking about back at the end of 2025 when I was saying, get ready, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of plans that are being discontinued, that are going to be ending or changing in a massive way. And that's why I was saying at the end of the year, I was saying, don't just look at the premium and assume that your plan hasn't changed. You got to look at all the details, and realistically, you need to call a chapter. I said that like 1,000 times at the end of the year. When we were in annual enrollment between October 15th and December 7th of last year, I was like, every single day, I was like, call, you've got to call them, because these changes are coming in, and so many people are going to be blindsided by this, and millions of people are going to be hurt by this. Well, we're starting to see the effects of that now. So anyway, like I said, when in doubt, call chapter, let them help you through all this. And again, I know that I know that I keep saying that and going like that, but seriously, there's so many of you in this community that need that help, and that is by far your best free resource for you to help get whatever questions you have answered and see what flexibility or optionality you may have right now. Okay, and again, I know you've seen me throw this up before, but a stack of papers here. These are comments that I've literally pulled out of the comment section over just the last like 2 months or so, give or take a little bit. I have more pages than this, by the way. This is just the stack I have sitting here. But all of these comments that have come across from people reaching out and getting help, again, thousands and thousands of you in this community, collectively saving a couple $1,000,000. But seriously, Medicare is massively confusing, okay? Massively confusing. In fact, my dad says this all the time. My dad, you know the story about that, all right? I helped my parents enroll in Medicare back in 2024. My dad still says this all the time. Why is it so hard? Nobody told us anything. Well, yeah, nobody tells you anything, right? You got to figure it out yourself. Like, nobody tells you anything. My dad's still having a cow about this. He says it all the time. No one told us anything. Yeah, you're right. Nobody told you anything, right? That's why I keep saying, like, seriously, call Chapter and let them handle it for you and let them figure it out. And they'll help you through this process, whatever help it is that you need, okay? So anyway, some different considerations. And again, I know there's a ton of moving parts here around all of this, okay? It doesn't need to be that complicated. You don't need to be frustrated. You don't need to be confused. You don't need to be overwhelmed around all this. But just some of the considerations and some of the different thoughts and, different points that I wanted to point out for you here in this video. And again, in that article, well, I still have my phone sitting right here, the article that I popped up for you, just some different things that I want you to consider right now, early 2026. And again, throughout the entire year. Anyway, let me know what else I can do for you. Drop your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. By the way, after you talk to Chapter right there with that phone number, after you talk to them, drop a comment down below. Let me know, how did it go? Did you save a boatload of money? What happened? Like, how did the experience go? I'll grab your comment and I'll stick it here on my documents and continue to feature your comments in upcoming videos, which, by the way, use the word chapter within your comment. That's the keyword that I search for to find these comments. And I'd love to grab it and add it onto my stack here of comments, which I will continue to feature. All right, anyway, hope this helps you. Let me know what else I can do for you right now. Again, I know it's a weird time right now, 2026. A lot of things are happening. Otherwise, please consider subscribing. Please share the video. Big subscribe button and share button right down below. Otherwise, let me know what else I can do for you. Enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one. And I will catch you again later in the very next video.